I didn't want any of this.
The big cock.
The Toxic Avenger.
That's what the kids are calling him.
The Toxic Avenger 2025 is a remake of the Toxic Avenger that was released in 1984. This movie, 2025 Toxic Avenger, is about Peter Dinklage, who plays Winston, and he is a stepfather to Jacob Tremblay's character Wade. Winston is trying his hardest to charm this kid, to get this kid to like him, to let Wade know that, hey, I'm your father, that stepfather, I'm going to be there for you. And so you really enjoy that relationship between Peter Dinklage and Jacob Tremblay in this movie as these two characters, because they really have good chemistry on screen. I actually feel like they are father and son, or stepfather and son, whatever you want to call it. Once we reach the crescendo, the grand main event that we've all been waiting for, we finally get, the backstory, and it's a sad story. Like, you feel empathy for Winston, played by Peter Dinklage in this film, because he just is a phenomenal actor, and the script is great, and you feel for him. And then so once, he turns into the Toxic Avenger, it's already a weird film, but it just gets even more weirder.
Sir, what did you see last night?
I heard gunshots, saw blood. Handsome fella had his arm tore off like wet bread, and the creature run off into the night.
He looks like a fucked up hot dog.
If you've come to this film to see some balls to the wall shit, this is the movie for you. This movie is like two halves. The first half is this emotional story that is very touching. And then the second half is like this just monster mayhem, batshit craziness. But as a whole, the whole film is just like batshit crazy, because like you have these commercials that play this weird then you got this weird in the background. Like every inch of this movie has some weird going on. Like the world that they invented for this film feels alive, and it feels dirty and disgusting and just not a safe place you want to live in. And so when we finally meet the Toxic Avenger is a vigilante, but yeah, he's a superhero, man, because like when he gets shot, bullets just come out of him, he heals, and then he has this mop as like, his power weapon, and he's like slapping people in the face and their jaws are falling off, and he's like has these like superhuman strength powers where he's like, I don't know, man, that like he puts his hand, up somebody's butt and like rips their intestines out or something. It's like crazy stuff happening here. Now, not only does Peter Dinklage deliver an emotional performance as the Winston character, but the other side of that coin is Larissa Guerrero, who plays the bod version of the Toxic Avenger.
The head goes on, which is the animatronic, and then you have a second part, and then the chin, they get fused together, but first and foremost, you have your torso. So everything then gets gelled and the neck part comes on. You have 4 or 5 other makeup artists around you, and they're all working together on you to get your arms on, your legs on, everything. And it takes 4 hours.
She's incredible. She studied, we rehearsed together. She sort of studied my movements, my mannerisms, and then we laid down a voiceover on it at the end.
And I praise her performance, and I praise how they sync this all together, because as I was watching the film, I didn't notice that it was 2 different people. I actually thought that was Peter Dinklage in the makeup, and it was an emotional performance. You still feel that emotion from the character bleeding through that makeup. So shout out to Larissa Guerrero, because like she definitely got down Peter Dinklage mannerisms to a T. But besides Peter Dinklage, Larissa Guerrero, Jacob Tremblay, besides all those phenomenal performances, we have other phenomenal performances in this film. We have Kevin Bacon, who plays a villain, but he plays an interesting villain with a weird name, Garbinger 4 inches or some crap like that. Like the stuff they show in this film visually is hilarious.
Do you realize what's at stake here?
Everything!
Summon the nuts.
And then we have the great Elijah Wood, who plays Fritz, and he is a cross between the Penguin and the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
You know, I don't mean to embarrass you, but I'm a rather brilliant surgeon. Perhaps I could help you with that hump.
What hump?
And then we have Taylor Page, who plays Dorothy, and her character is trying to reveal to the world how dirty Kevin Bacon's character is.
There are still no leads as to the identity of
The freaky folk hero
remains at large.
Now streaming on Nuts Plus.
Shocking allegations against BTH of organized crime connections and heinous environmental abuses.
He is responsible for all of the toxic waste in the water and causing the birds to mutate and causing human beings like Winston to turn into
mutated
freaks. As batshit crazy as this movie is, as far out as they go, I just wish there could have been a little bit more with the action.
Incredible, explosive action you must see. The Toxic Avenger. He's a different kind of hero.
Balls to the wall action, guts flying everywhere, limbs being chopped off, blood splattering all over the place, and it's glorious. But for me, it just wasn't enough. Hopefully, if they make that sequel, in the sequel, they don't hold back, man. You gotta go all in, like Terrifier, man, but you know, the superhero version of that.
The big cock.
Ultimately, I enjoyed this movie. I thought this was a great film. I had a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of laughs. There's a lot of goofy silliness happening here. And it's also an emotional film. You feel empathy for Winston and his relationship with Wade. And then you got, you know, Kevin Bacon in here doing some silly stuff. But then you feel an emotional weight with his story too, and why he's doing what he's doing. And just all of the pieces in play here are just phenomenal. It's great. It's a great experience, and I enjoyed this film, The Toxic Avenger 2025, even though it is nothing like the original film story-wise. I do believe that the narrative of this film,
Good Lord, y'all, they've taken hostages.
it is awesome, it is fun, it is emotional, with powerful performances, with blood splattering against the wall, batshit crazy, balls to the wall, mayhem. That's all I have to say.
Winston became the Toxic Avenger.
Party's over.